We have the famous Janelle Devlin. Janelle is just an awesome dear friend. She's been on this journey with me since the beginning. And she's really going to talk about a very important topic that you all requested on was how to have strong customer retention. And she's going to give you some really solid nuggets on how to do great customer service. So Janelle, I am going to turn it over to you.
All right, everybody, we are wrapping this up, and I think the timing of this is really, really perfect. Everything is coming together for this time right now of talking about follow-up. But I got something for you. So right now we're right at about 200. Oh, it just dipped down 200. I know we've gone over time because the content is so rich. That's the kind of quality training we have here for you guys. And again, I just want to say thanks to Sarah and all of the speakers. This has been so good. And what I do know is that if we take what we've learned and now we put this into a strategy, if you want strategy, put strategy in the chat right now. Let's keep these. Oh, good. We're getting a few more still popping back in. I want to hear strategy in the chat, because now we're going to give you some strategy and a little different mindset around this whole follow-up. So here's what we have here. Strategic persistence is what I like to look at this topic of follow-up. I look at it under, this is me being persistent. This is Janelle, the creative, being strategic and persistent, because I don't know about you, but I don't just want a few houseplants. I want a vineyard. And if we don't have a strategy around our follow-up, then we're going to we'll have maybe some money coming in, but if we have a strategy around this, we're going to have so many people not only coming in, but sticking with us. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm here for the residual income. If you're here for the residual income, then raise your hand. Okay. So the persistence, I want us to define this first. Oh, you're raising your hand. There we go. I want to define persistence. I've learned as a homeschool mom, if my kids don't really know the definition of a topic, I can say all the great things about it, but they can be stuck on, well, what does that really mean? You guys, we might think we know what persistence means. We might have different definitions, but here's the honest truth. It's being firm. It's being relentless in what we are setting out to do. This is the dictionary definition: firm or obstinate continuance and a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Okay, here's what I look at persistence as, and that's the commitment to keep moving forward in your business goals, even when you're faced with challenges or setbacks. We've been hearing about this today. It's staying dedicated, being unwavering in your path of going all the way, of going to diamond, of using your gifts and abilities to be able to make change in the world. And I'll tell you what, having a platform like we have here at Amari is a fantastic way to make an impact in our own homes, in our community, and truly in the world. So we're moving forward now, all in agreement. Hope we're all in agreement that regardless of the obstacles that come into our path, we've learned, and again, I love what Andrea said, we are responsible to them. And that's where this part comes in. This is another part of being responsible to the people who have reached out to you, wanting to move forward, wanting to have some sort of a change in their life. And you know what we need to stop doing? We need to stop thinking about this as just the F word, okay? For some of you guys, the F word is, you treat this word as a worse word than the actual F word. Come on, you guys know who you are. We can treat this like we get scared about it. We get all weird about it. We've heard some people make mention of this, but the real F word that we're going for, what do you think it is? Put it in the chat. If we have a strategy around our follow-up, then the F word, it's freedom. It's freedom, right? Like, we all have shared different examples of how this business has given us freedom. And that happens because we've done the work and we continue to do the work so that we have residual income. Again, otherwise, I look at like a few houseplants. No, we want a vineyard. I don't just want a couple $100 coming in a month. I know you don't either. It's good to start out with. I want tens of thousands coming in. And that's where we are right now. But I know it's going to be even moving forward for our family because we are continuing in this. So freedom is the main word. So what this means is that we have to address maybe some resistance that we have around this. And if there is resistance, you know what that is? It just means we need to create a new story around it. And how about this quote we heard today? It's not about a sale, it's about their transformation. Alex Hine, thank you for sharing that. Who realizes that they need a new story around follow-up? If that's you, I want you to write stuff down. Yes, you can comment in the chat. It's great to hear that, but this is something where we need to take this home and drive this home because it's not hard. It's like, do you want this hard or do you want it simple? Put it in the chat. Do you want follow-up to be hard? I'm going to give you that the long, drawn out, like, or do you want it simple? Because you guys, we can have this be simple. We really can. We get to create a new story. But here's the word, the F words that get in our way. It's these false fairyland fables, these tales we tell ourselves about follow-up that keep us in fear and financial frickin' struggle. Those are the F words. Like, let's get real that follow-up is truly about freedom. And if we want to look at it that way, we have to understand that by us doing the work of what we've learned from these leaders so far, it's not always going to feel comfortable. And we're not usually going to feel equipped. But guess what? That's the challenge. That's when you get to step in and be the warrior for your own why, for your family. If you really want change, if you really want to build that vineyard and not just be looking at a few houseplants, then it takes the work. And when we do it with a great heart and our intention is to serve people, again, these things we heard today, being responsible to them, serving them, sharing the vision of what we're doing here at Amare, when we start from there, we can't go wrong. Yes, we need a strategy, and I'm going to share a strategy that we use, our 6-week follow-up strategy, along with scripts will be available to each of you. I'm going to share the first 13 days, just a screen, so you guys can screenshot so you have it, and we'll remind you to make sure you get the full PDF. But when we talk about this part of our business, this is in our back office. Now you go under commissions, that tab in your back office, and you're going to see this personal customer bonus. I want you to write down right now, put alarm in a phone every Friday, fill in the blank, to check personal customer bonus and have that alarm on so it alerts you. Maybe it's Friday morning at 8 o'clock. You go in and you check because it's very significant. You'll notice as your business grows, especially going from this 20%, let's say I just took a screenshot here of mine, of 20% to 25% is significant, right? We know we have the ability to go all the way here to the right up to 38% back, which is really kind of unheard of in our industry. That is a conversation in itself with our comp plan. So now let's just, wherever you are, let's say 9,000 might seem like so much right now, and that's okay, but let's keep our sights set on 1,000, on getting that extra, that 10%, okay? If you're already at 1,000, let's set those sights on 3,000 this month. There's no reason you cannot go to that next level in your business. And I want you to measure it. This again, otherwise hope, not a strategy. This is a way we can look in and we can know where we are. I've been sometimes right underneath that next percentage and I've kind of done the math and I'm like, this would be hundreds of extra dollars by, me making sure one more person gets an order this month. This is a strategy that is needed to be able to grow a multi-million-dollar business. So this is just one very easy, measurable. If you're up for putting this out, an alarm in your phone to face the music every week, come in, see where you are, and then celebrate, then let me know in the chat. You guys ready to put this in and have this be a new habit of your week? Because I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing to have these follow-up sequences. Okay, here's generally what we want to make sure is in our schedule. Because you might look at what I'm sharing with you guys, and you might have, want to do something different. Here's a general, and then I'm going to get specific. Okay. What we want to do, of course, we want to welcome new customers. We want to always make sure we welcome them in. The more creative, the better. If you've ever bought something online and not received a thank you note, let me ask you, put in the chat, what percentage of times did you get a personal thank you checking in after you have purchased something online? Like percentage-wise, honestly, what do you think? Pretty sure it's going to be like 5% or less. We get to be that joy. Have you guys ever received a quick little thank you note? Have you received a text, something maybe specific that has a family picture and they wrote thank you on it and it's texted to you? Thank you, Sarah, for your order. I'm so happy to be able to serve you. I'm here with any questions. Let's go. Can't wait to help you reach your goals. How does it feel when you get those messages? We order just this Dave Ramsey curriculum because my kids are doing the financial high school stuff. And I got a phone call from someone. I had submitted a question. I thought it would just be some bot, sending me a message back. I got a personal phone call. I got to tell you, it was awesome. I got a personal phone call checking in. You guys know it feels so good to get that attention. Guys, that's all we're doing. So if you want to make this simple, we're educating, we're checking in, we're celebrating little milestones. Hey, congrats. You're 3 weeks in and your next order is set to go out this next week. Man, you just wait and see what it's going to feel like going into your second and third month. I'm so excited for you. That is actually what I say when I either leave a voice memo or I text. I'm helping them to look forward because we all know if we are either not feeling great or financial struggles are holding us back, it can be hard to see past the next day. And so let's jump right into this. Here is something that we do to start off with a customer care campaign. I'm not going to go through all of it. You guys, again, you're going to have the full PDF with some scripts, make it your own. But I do a check-in on day 1, day 3, day 5. Now, how are you going to do that? Maybe you guys have a paper system. Maybe you have an electronic. Find what works for you. I personally have been loving the Tasks app. I think it's free through my iPhone, and I love it. So I can put in Sarah Hine, new customer. And I can put an alert in for, okay, day 1 is this day. I can put in January 15th, January, whatever. And then it alerts me on those days. It also comes over to my Google Calendar so I can see who I'm checking in with. That's working for me right now. You might have something else that's working, but I encourage you when you have a new person, and if you want to use this strategy we have for you, go in and go ahead and put in the dates that we have here, day 1, day 3, day 5. It'll take you 3 minutes, and then Sarah Hine, great. I have my strategy for the first 6 weeks to make sure I'm giving girlfriend some awesome service, because if I give her great service, then she might be really open to considering joining my team. And if she's getting great results with the products, then yeah, she might be referring more people to me. So we have to know this is where we're responsible to them, not for them. Okay, I have day 10 and day 13 here. So it's checking in. And as Alex was talking about questions that we ask, really important we don't say, do you like the products? Hey, how's it going? Are you liking what you have? More open-ended, like say, how are you doing? What are you noticing? Specifically, what are you noticing with your products? What are you starting to notice? Hey, you mentioned sleep was kind of a struggle along with mood. Have you noticed some improvement in your sleep? So it's making sure we're staying close with them on their goals. And again, we've heard this throughout the morning, but it's bringing them back to the goals, why they got started, what it is they're really, really going for. Okay, so we have this with our first 2 weeks. Bottom line, guys, personalize it, make it sound like you. You'll see I have here in the second week check-in on day 13, Dr. Sean's resource library. I've actually changed that for my team. And it says Dr. Sean's The Science of Happy Juice video, just for something real specific to send. That's been great. And depending what they're using, but for something specific to tap into a video, something they can get in and, connect with and feel like, all right, this is what I'm a part of. All right, so I'm coming back to this here. Guys, the only fear that we need to have is not showing the love. Put in the chat how you would finish this sentence. I was thinking of that quote. I think it's Roosevelt. Like, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. But bottom line, it comes to when people come into business and they say, hey, my God, maybe that objection of I don't want to be salesy. Well, guess what? If you don't follow up, then you're being that salesy person. I'm just saying. If you come to people and you have a plan, it might not be perfect for day 1, 3, 5, but if you are staying close and they know that, hey, I'm here to help. Hey, how can I help? If you have that willing servant leader kind of a attitude towards your people, if you are new, my gosh, you have great upline support to be able to say, I'm not sure about that, but I'm going to find out for you. Or, hey, so-and-so is willing to jump in and have a conversation with us in a 3-way chat. Let's do that. You're able to bring in your upline support. The only thing that we need to really have this fear around is not showing the love and actually just not following up. That's the only fear. So let's make this simple. If we have a strategy, we know that things are going to come up along the way. We know, yeah, we might have to go through some work, help them work through some things, but I'm telling you my best as I was doing Christmas cards for customers. For this season, I look through and I'm like, man, the amount of people that are still with us after all these years, we've been around since the beginning as well. And I think not that I've done it perfectly, but I do know that I've really prioritized making sure people know I'm here to help. What questions do you have? And really, guys, people just need to know that for you, you're here to support, you're here to answer questions, you're here to make sure. There we go. We're here to make sure that they are experiencing the freedom they're going for, whether that's in their business or with their health. So that's a strategic part of our follow up. Have a new mindset around it. Throw off whatever is holding you back, because if you want financial freedom, if you want to build that vineyard, if you want to have residual income, then your job is to make this an exciting part of your week. Make it a thing. For me, you had some coffee images on here. I oftentimes get out of the house, get a coffee, and then make it a different experience for myself because I'm at home working from home a lot. And that for me works. Find what works for you. Is it one chunk during the week? Is it 3, 4 hours chunk like mine? Or is it scattered? But whatever works for you, commit to it. That's what you're responsible to, not responsible for. You're committed to them for that. So thank you so much. And let's pass it along to our next speaker who's going to bring it on home.
All right, Janelle, thank you so much for encouraging the fortunes are truly in the follow-up. These are all such important aspects to your business, and I hope that we will get Janelle's template out for you to make your own, but just to give you some idea of wording to just continue that follow-up.